Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English is My Life, the place where learning English feels natural, relaxed, and part of your real life. I'm Haley, and I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sam. And yes, it's really great to be here again. I hope you're feeling comfortable, maybe with a cup of coffee or tea, ready to listen and practice your English with us.
Exactly. On this channel, we don't just teach English like a textbook, we talk like real people about real topics using English you can actually use every day.
And today's topic is one of the most useful topics ever because we talk about it all the time without even thinking about it.
That's right. Today we're talking about likes and dislikes. What you like, what you don't like, what you love, what you really can't stand.
This is the kind of English you use when you meet new people, when you chat with friends, when you order food, or even when you're just making small talk.
Before we get into it, quick reminder. If you enjoy learning English with us, please like this episode and subscribe to English is My Life. Your support really helps us keep creating new content for you.
All right, Haley, let's warm up with something very simple.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you like coffee?
Yes, I do like coffee. I drink it almost every morning. But honestly, I prefer tea most of the time. How about you?
I love coffee. Not just like love. If I don't have coffee in the morning, my brain doesn't really work.
And look at that, everyone. In just 2 sentences, we already used like, prefer, and love. That's exactly what today is about.
So let's slow it down and start with the basics.
The most common and easiest way to talk about preferences in English is using the verb like.
For example, I like pizza. I like music. I like dogs.
Very simple. And if you want to talk about an activity, you usually add ing.
Like this. I like watching movies. I like listening to music. I like cooking at home.
Both are correct. You can say I like plus noun or I like plus verb ing.
All right, Haley. Tell me 3 things you like.
Okay, I like reading books, I like taking long walks in the evening, and I like spending quiet time at home.
Those all sound very calm and peaceful.
They are. Now your turn. What do you like?
Let me think. I like playing the guitar. I like watching documentaries. And I like trying new food.
Great examples. And everyone listening right now, pause for a moment and think, what are 3 things you like?
Try saying them in English, even quietly in your head.
Now, let's move to the other side, talking about things you don't like.
This one is just as easy. You simply say, I don't like.
For example, I don't like spicy food. I don't like waking up early. I don't like loud noises.
Haley, what's something you don't like?
I don't like waiting in long lines. It makes me feel impatient.
Oh, I agree with that. I also don't like doing laundry. It feels endless.
That's very relatable. So the structure stays the same. I don't like plus noun or I don't like plus verb ing.
I don't like cooking. I don't like cold weather. I don't like flying.
Now let's talk about asking other people about their likes and dislikes because conversation goes both ways.
The basic question is very simple. Do you like?
Do you like chocolate? Do you like sports? Do you like traveling?
And the answers are easy too. Yes, I do. No, I don't.
Or you can give a longer answer.
For example, yes, I do. I really like it. Or no, I don't. I'm not really into it.
Let me ask you something, Sam. Do you like cooking?
Yes, I do. I like cooking simple meals, but I don't like cooking complicated dishes.
That's a great answer because you showed that you like something, but only to a certain level.
Exactly, and that's very natural in real conversations.
Now, sometimes like is not strong enough. Sometimes we want to express stronger feelings.
Right, that's when we use words like love.
Love is much stronger than like. When you say, I love something, it means it brings you a lot of happiness.
For example, I love music, I love my family, I love learning new things.
Sam, what's something you love?
I love traveling. Visiting new places makes me feel alive.
That's a great one. I love quiet mornings when everything feels calm.
So we use love the same way as like. I love noun or I love verb ing.
Now let's talk about a word that sounds similar to love, but is used a little differently.
Enjoy. Enjoy is very common in English. I enjoy reading, I enjoy working from home, I enjoy spending time with friends.
Important detail. After enjoy, we usually use ing.
Yes, we say I enjoy cooking, not I enjoy cook.
Good point. You can also say, I enjoy my job. I enjoy my time here.
Okay, now let's move to the stronger negative side.
Sometimes I don't like is too soft. Sometimes we really dislike something.
That's when people often use hate.
Hate is very strong. I hate traffic. I hate mosquitoes. I hate being late.
But be careful, hate is very emotional. Native speakers don't use it for everything.
Exactly. If you only dislike something a little, it's better to say, I don't like it, or I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan of horror movies. I'm not a fan of spicy food.
That sounds more polite and natural.
There's also a very useful phrase when something is okay, not good, not bad.
You mean, I don't mind.
Yes, I don't mind rainy days. I don't mind waiting a little.
It means you're neutral. You're fine with it.
So now we already have many tools like, love, enjoy, don't like, not a fan of, hate, don't mind.
And in the next part, we'll go even deeper. We'll talk about prefer, rather, common mistakes, and how to sound more natural when you talk about food, hobbies, and daily life.
So stay with us, keep listening, and keep practicing your English.
So far, we've talked about the basics like don't like, love, hate, and a few polite ways to soften your opinion. And honestly, this is already enough to survive most daily conversations.
Exactly. If you can say, I like it, I don't like it, or I prefer this, you're already doing pretty well.
But sometimes life isn't that simple, right? We don't always love or hate things. Sometimes our feelings are somewhere in the middle.
Yes. Like, I don't hate waking up early, but I don't love it either.
Perfect example. So what would you say in that case?
I'd say, I don't mind waking up early.
Exactly. I don't mind is such a useful phrase. It means something is okay, not amazing, not terrible.
Right. Like, I don't mind rain. I actually think rain can be relaxing sometimes.
Same. I don't mind staying home on a rainy day. I can read, listen to music, or just relax.
So for everyone listening, remember this phrase. I don't mind plus noun, or I don't mind plus verb ing.
For example, I don't mind cooking at home, or I don't mind long meetings. Sometimes.
Sometimes is important there.
Very important. Now, let's talk about another phrase people love using. I'm not really into.
Oh yeah, that one sounds very natural.
It does, and it's very common in casual conversation. For example, I'm not really into loud parties.
Or, I'm not really into horror movies.
That's a gentle way to say you don't like something without sounding too strong.
Exactly. It's softer than saying, I hate horror movies.
And that's important, especially when you're talking to someone new. You don't want to sound negative or rude.
True. English isn't just about grammar, it's also about tone.
Well said. Okay, let's move on to a phrase learners really enjoy using once they learn it. I'm a big fan of.
Ah, yes, the opposite of I'm not a fan of.
Exactly. So, Sam, what are you a big fan of?
I'm a big fan of documentaries. I love learning new things.
That's a great one. I'm a big fan of podcasts, especially ones about self-improvement.
So again, the structure is simple. I'm a big fan of plus noun, or I'm a big fan of plus verb ing.
Like, I'm a big fan of traveling, or I'm a big fan of Italian food.
And if you want to make it weaker, you can just say I'm a fan of.
Right. I'm a fan of yoga. Sounds nice and natural.
Now, Haley, can we talk about preferences a bit more?
Of course, preferences are everywhere in daily life.
Like choosing food, movies, music, even how you spend your weekend.
Exactly. And one of the most useful words here is prefer.
For example, I prefer coffee in the morning.
Or, I prefer staying home over going out.
I like that example. It sounds very real.
And notice the structure. I prefer A over B.
Or you can just say, I prefer A if B is obvious.
Right. Like if someone asks, coffee or tea, you can say, I prefer tea.
Simple and clear.
There's also another phrase that means almost the same thing, I'd rather.
Yes, but this one is a little tricky.
True. After I'd rather, we use the base verb.
So we say, I'd rather stay home, not I'd rather staying home.
Exactly. I'd rather watch a movie. I'd rather cook at home. I'd rather sleep in on Sunday.
That last one is definitely me.
Same here. Now, let's put all of this into real-life situations.
Good idea. That's how people really learn.
Imagine you're meeting someone new, and they ask, what do you like to do in your free time?
I might say, I enjoy reading and going for walks. I'm also a big fan of podcasts.
That sounds very natural. Not too simple, not too complicated.
And what would you say?
I'd say, I like spending time at home. I prefer quiet activities like journaling or listening to music.
See? Very natural. No pressure.
Now, imagine you're at a restaurant. The waiter asks, do you like spicy food?
I'd say, I like it a little, but I don't like very spicy food.
Perfect. Or you could say, I'm not really into spicy food.
Exactly. Both work.
What if the waiter asks, do you want dessert?
That depends. If I do, I'll say, yes, I'd love some dessert.
And if you don't?
No thanks. I'm not a big fan of sweet things.
Very polite, very natural.
This is why learning likes and dislikes is so powerful. You use it everywhere.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about opinions that can change.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because sometimes we didn't like something before, but now we do.
Like coffee. I didn't like coffee when I was younger.
Same. I thought it tasted bitter.
But now?
Now I actually enjoy it, especially in the morning.
So you could say, I didn't like coffee before, but now I really like it.
Exactly. Or I didn't used to like coffee, but now I love it.
That's a great structure for storytelling.
Yes, it helps you talk about change and experience.
Another example, exercise.
Oh yes, many people say, I used to hate exercise.
But now they say, now I enjoy going to the gym.
That's such a common story.
And very motivating too.
Now let's talk about something learners often struggle with, explaining why they like or dislike something.
Adding reasons.
Exactly. It makes your English richer.
Instead of just saying, I like music, you can say, I like music because it helps me relax.
Or, I don't like crowded places because they make me feel stressed.
That's a very useful pattern.
I like because, I don't like because.
Simple, but powerful.
So for everyone listening, try this. Think of one thing you like and one thing you don't like, then add a reason.
For example, I like learning English because it helps me connect with people.
That's a great one.
And I don't like waking up early because I feel tired.
Very honest.
And very relatable.
Now, before we move on, I want to say something important.
Go ahead.
I want to say there is no correct thing to like or dislike.
Absolutely.
Some people love sports. Some people don't care about sports at all.
Some people love cooking. Others prefer ordering food.
And all of that is okay.
The goal is not to sound perfect. The goal is to sound like yourself.
Exactly. And English is just a tool to help you express that.
I love that idea.
All right, in the next part, we're going to go deeper into specific topics like entertainment, daily habits, and personal preferences, and we'll also share some very natural native style expressions.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. Okay, Sam. So far, we've talked about basic likes and dislikes, stronger feelings like love and hate, and some common mistakes learners make. Now I think it's time to go a bit deeper and make our English sound more natural and more real.
I agree. This is the part where English learners can really level up because native speakers don't always say I like or I don't like. They use many different expressions.
Exactly, and this is especially important in conversations. If you repeat I like again and again, people will understand you, but it can sound a little basic.
Right. So let's talk about variety. One very useful phrase is I'm into.
Oh yes, that's a great one. I'm into is very common in everyday spoken English. It means you like something or you're interested in it.
For example, you can say, I'm into photography, or I'm really into fitness these days.
Notice how natural that sounds. It's casual and friendly, but be careful, it's informal, so it's best for conversations with friends, not formal writing.
Good point. And the opposite of that is I'm not into.
Exactly. For example, I'm not into horror movies, or I'm not really into nightlife.
That sounds much softer than saying I hate. It's polite and relaxed.
Another very useful expression is I'm a big fan of.
Oh, yes, I use that one all the time. I'm a big fan of Italian food. I'm a big fan of podcasts.
Same here. You can also say I'm not a big fan of if you want to express some mild dislike.
For example, I'm not a big fan of crowded places. That doesn't mean you hate them, just that you don't really enjoy them.
Exactly. This kind of language helps you sound more polite and more natural in social situations.
Now, Haley, let's talk about preferences, because this is something people ask about all the time.
Yes, like when you're choosing food, travel plans, or even movies.
One of the most important words for this is prefer.
Right. You can say, I prefer coffee to tea, or I prefer staying at home to going out.
Notice we often use prefer A to B.
Exactly. But in spoken English, people often say, I prefer A over B. Both are common.
And there's also I'd rather, which is extremely useful.
Yes, I'd rather stay home tonight, or I'd rather watch a movie than go to a party.
Important grammar note here. After I'd rather, we use the base verb, not ing.
Right, so it's I'd rather eat at home, not I'd rather eating at home.
Great point. Okay, let's move to something very practical, talking about likes and dislikes in real-life situations.
Perfect. Let's start with restaurants. This is something everyone experiences.
Okay, imagine the waiter asks, do you like spicy food? How can you answer naturally?
You could say, yes, I love spicy food, or I like it, but not too spicy.
Or, I'm not a big fan of spicy food, or I can't handle very spicy food.
I can't handle is a great phrase. It means it's too much for you.
Exactly, like I can't handle super spicy food.
Now let's talk about movies, another super common topic.
Right, you might hear someone ask, what kind of movies do you like?
You could answer, I'm into comedies and romantic movies.
Or, I'm a big fan of action movies, but I'm not into horror.
You can also say, I enjoy watching documentaries. That sounds a little more thoughtful.
Now let's move to music, because music preferences are very personal.
Absolutely. You might say, I'm really into pop music these days.
Or, I'm more into indie music.
And if you don't like something, I'm not really into heavy metal.
Or, it's not really my thing. That's another great phrase.
Oh yes, it's not my thing is very natural and very common.
For example, clubbing isn't really my thing.
Or early mornings are not my thing.
Okay, now let's talk about hobbies, because this is a favorite topic when meeting new people.
Definitely. You might say, I enjoy cooking in my free time.
Or, I'm really into fitness and yoga.
Or, I'm not into sports, but I like walking.
Notice how you don't need to say, I like all the time. You're mixing expressions.
That's the key to sounding fluent.
Now, let's quickly talk about tone, because tone matters a lot.
Yes, saying I hate can sound very strong and even rude in some situations.
That's why phrases like I'm not a fan of, or I'm not really into, or it's not my thing are safer choices.
Especially at work or when meeting new people.
Exactly. Now, Haley, let's do a quick role play.
Great idea. You start.
Okay? Hey, Haley, do you like working from home?
Yes, I actually love it. I prefer working from home over going to the office.
Nice. What about cooking?
I enjoy cooking, but I'm not a big fan of washing dishes.
Very honest. Do you like social media?
I don't mind it, but I try not to spend too much time on it.
That was perfect. You used love, prefer, enjoy, not a big fan of, and don't mind naturally.
And that's exactly what our listeners should practice.
Yes, instead of memorizing long lists, focus on using these phrases in real sentences about your own life.
Because when you talk about things you really like or dislike, the language sticks.
And that's how you build confidence in English.
All right, in the next part, we're going to bring it all together. So, Sam, we've talked about food, hobbies, music, movies, and even sports. I think our listeners now have a lot of useful ways to talk about what they like and don't like.
Definitely. And the best thing is, these phrases aren't complicated. You don't need difficult grammar to sound natural in English. You just need the right expressions.
Exactly. Before we finish today, I want to talk about one more important thing: how talking about likes and dislikes helps you connect with people.
Oh, that's a great point. It's not just about English, it's about communication and relationships.
Yes, when you tell someone what you like, you're sharing a part of yourself. And when you ask someone about their preferences, you show interest in them.
For example, if you say, I love Italian food, someone might say, me too. And suddenly you have something in common.
And if someone says, I'm not really into Italian food, but I'm crazy about Thai food, that's also interesting. You can ask questions, learn something new, and keep the conversation going.
That's why this topic is so useful for daily life. Small talk, friendships, dating, work conversations. Likes and dislikes are everywhere.
Exactly. Let's practice a longer, more natural conversation using everything we learned today. I'll start. Sam, when you have free time on the weekend, what do you usually like to do?
On weekends, I really enjoy slowing down. I like sleeping in a little, making a good breakfast, and then spending time outside if the weather is nice.
That sounds lovely. Do you prefer staying home or going out?
I prefer staying home most of the time. I'm kind of a homebody. I like watching movies, cooking simple meals, and listening to music.
I totally get that. I enjoy staying home too, especially after a long week, but sometimes I prefer going out, especially if I feel bored.
That makes sense. What do you usually like to do when you go out?
I like meeting friends at a cafe, trying new restaurants, or going for long walks in the city. I don't really like crowded clubs though.
Same here. I'm not a fan of loud places where you can't hear each other talk.
Exactly. Now let's talk about movies again, but a bit deeper. Sam, is there any type of movie you absolutely can't stand?
Honestly, I can't stand movies that are too confusing. You know, the kind where nothing makes sense and you feel lost the whole time?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. I don't enjoy movies like that either. I prefer stories that are clear and emotional.
What kind of movies are you crazy about?
I'm crazy about feel-good movies, movies that make me smile, laugh, or feel inspired.
That's nice. I'm more into documentaries these days. I enjoy learning something new while watching.
That's interesting. Some people think documentaries are boring, but I actually enjoy them too, especially about nature or people's lives.
See? Even when people think they don't like something, they often find exceptions.
Exactly. And that's why it's okay to say things like, I usually don't like this, but it makes your English sound more natural.
Right. You don't have to be extreme all the time. You don't have to say love or hate for everything.
Yes, words like I don't mind, I'm not really into, or I prefer are very useful for that.
Let's talk about music again for a moment. Music is such a personal thing. Haley, is there any music you didn't like before but enjoy now?
Oh, yes, definitely. When I was younger, I didn't like jazz at all. I thought it was boring. But now I really enjoy it, especially when I want to relax.
That's a great example. Our tastes can change over time.
Exactly. And it's okay to say, I didn't used to like this, but now I really enjoy it.
I feel the same way about cooking. I used to hate cooking. I thought it was stressful and took too much time.
And now?
Now, I actually enjoy it. I'm not a great cook, but I like trying simple recipes. It helps me relax.
That's such a good point. Likes and dislikes are not fixed. They can change with experience.
So, for our listeners, don't worry if you don't like something right now. Maybe in the future you will.
Exactly. Now, before we wrap up, let's do a short review of some useful expressions in a more natural way.
Good idea. You can say, I like for general preferences. I love for strong likes. I enjoy, especially with activities. I'm fond of for a softer, more polite tone.
And for dislikes, I don't like for a simple dislikes. I'm not a fan of for polite, casual dislikes. I'm not into for very casual conversations. I can't stand or I hate for very strong dislikes, but use them carefully.
Exactly. And don't forget about comparison phrases like I prefer and I'd rather.
These help you explain choices, not just likes and dislikes.
All right, Sam, I think it's time for our final question of the day.
Yes, this one is for everyone listening.
Here it is. What is one activity you really enjoy doing alone and one activity you prefer doing with others?
That's a great question. For me, I enjoy reading alone, but I prefer traveling with friends.
Nice answer. For me, I enjoy journaling alone, but I prefer eating out with others.
So, listeners, think about your own answer. You can say, I enjoy blank alone, but I prefer blank with others.
Try to write your answer down or say it out loud. This is amazing practice.
And remember, there's no right or wrong answer. Your likes and dislikes are part of who you are.
Exactly. And the more you practice talking about them in English, the more confident you will become. All right, everyone. That brings us to the end of today's episode.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us on English is My Life.
If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.
We'll be back soon with another real-life English conversation.
Until then, keep practicing, keep expressing yourself.
And keep enjoying English. See you next time.